Yo, what's going on? I said I was going to do a video. I will do a video today. Address a couple things with knives. You know, I don't get all caught up in the poor quality steel, inadequate jimping. I can't cut paracord or do bushcraft in my backyard. More toastiness, pizza rolls, mom. Please. I don't get all caught up in what the dick beaters have to say. These Spyderco birds, man, I do like them. I really do like them. Inadequate steel. Does not compute. I love this little robin. I absolutely love it. Gets a lot of use at work. I use it to cut cords, to cut straps. Stuff I wouldn't do with expensive knives. Just awful things with this. And it holds up really, really well. And then you talk about tactical knives. Oh, tactical, yeah. We got the Ontario Utilitac here. There is nothing tactical about this. And this one also gets a lot of use because you look at the tape all over it. This one's a pain in the ass to sharpen. This one's really easy to sharpen. The Ontario Rat 1 is probably one of my favorite knives. Inadequate steel, must masturbate. Alright, buddy. Whatever. I get these guys so pissed off all the time because usually I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about, but the thing is, I actually know how to sharpen my knives. So even if it's a piece of crap knife like this Frost cutlery, I don't even know what the hell this thing is. They sent me like 400 of these. There's a little cheesy wolf sticker on here for like $10. That late night TV thing, man. I bought that. You ever watch the Blade show? Is it the Blade show? I think it is the Blade show on a satellite TV, where they like, oh, you gotta buy this. And we're gonna throw a sword in, and we're gonna give you like I don't know a human skull and something to reproduce alien DNA in your offspring. All right. It was like 4 o'clock in the morning. I was all gooned up. I'm talking just wasted. And I bought this thing called a truckload full of knives. And they sent me literally a truckload full of knives. And they were all garbage. But that's not where I was going with this. The point I was trying to make is, yeah, these knives are garbage. They're like Flying Falcons and what is that other one they sell in Lowe's? Appalachian Trail. They are garbage and they will rust and break and cut you. But if you can sharpen your knives, even if you have a piece of junk, you can make it sharp. The only thing is you have to sharpen it more often. So this is what I got today. God, it'll never change. Whoa, what do you know? What's that? Anybody know what that is? I'm sure quite a few of you know what this is. I've had a chubby for this knife for probably about 3 years, and I could just never pull the trigger on it. I was always like, I'm not paying that for I'm not doing it. And it haunted my dreams. And I finally, the other day, I said to myself, just do it. Make yourself happy. Just get it. Spyderco Military. There it is. Digital Desert Camo, G10. I've only had it for about 8 hours. You got a flow through design on here, sort of, kind of. You got a little bolster in there. Out of the box, absolute perfect lineup in the scales. I'm not going to give you the child, the jimping. Quickly, I must masturbate. All right. No. I don't know too much about it, and I'm not going to sit here and like blow smoke up your ass and tell you like I know everything and I am just blah blah blah, the king of my basement. This thing is chock full of badassery. That's one thing I can say. From the pictures I saw of it, I thought that the scales were rounded a little more, and I didn't think they had the texturing on it. But you know, it's cool. It looks like the scales are clear, and the texturing maybe wasn't the texturing, the digital camo, desert camo on here. I don't even really know, but yeah, I guess it is desert camo. Is underneath, so it shines through. I think. I'm not sure. Like I said, I have no idea what the fuck I'm talking about. But the jimping, for the jimping guys, is aggressive and it is sharp. Um, it lines up perfect, whips right out, no wrist action there. It just pops right open. The steel. Yeah, the steel. Tell us about the steel. I can get my pants off. The steel is CPM S30V. What about the Rockwell harness? I can't hold it anymore. Ah! I have no idea what the Rockwell harness is on this. I'm really not that lame. But I can say this is silly sharp. I'm talking silly. There's only 2 knives that I've ever found that were so ridiculously sharp. One was the Kershaw and Spyderco. I can't really compare anything other to those 2. And this one has not bit me yet, but the Kershaw was another one, like the Kershaw Junkyard Dog. The minute I opened it up, I was spewing blood all over the floor because I'm that kind of jackass. At least I'll tell you I'm that kind of jackass. I believe it's 4-inch blade, 5-inch handle. Legend has it, folks. Legend has it the designer was asked to design a knife that you would send your child to war with. And this is what he came up with. And I gotta tell you, this is, like I said, chock full of badassery. This is one badass blade. And it is beyond razor sharp. Very impressed with it. The tip on here, I wouldn't be poking it into things. I would just see that breaking. But the belly of this knife and the things you can do with it, and a lot of times I talk about processing food. This would be a fantastic knife to fillet small fish. I think this would be great for butchering food or humans. Awesome knife, man. Really, really cool. But like I said, I've only had it for quite a few hours, maybe 8 hours or something like that. And all the dirty work, all the dirty stuff, I do with the birds. Bird is the word, man. I love the birds. A lot of people are like, oh, the birds are fucking tired. I can't stand the birds because of the poor quality steel and aqua chipping. All right, buddy. For work, I think they're great. And that's just like Tenacious. The Tenacious was my very first Spyderco, and I gave it away in a contest, and I love that knife. And ain't nobody's gonna tell me what to do. And I always like this thing it says on here. Golden, Colorado, USA, Earth. That just freaks me out, man. Or if you're in the hood, Earth. So I thought I'd show you the blade. I actually have a knife with adequate jimping and good quality steel. I'm very impressed with it. And I think the wait was worth it. I really like it. This is one badass blade, man. And I found myself today, I was cutting open a pallet of food with plastic wrap around it, and I'm just like, why are you doing this with this? And I put it right back in my pocket, and I grabbed the old Robin out, because it doesn't scare people that much. So I thought I'd share that video with you. And that's about it for me, man. The Paramilitary 2 was one I also liked, but I just think the military was just more my style. And I am a camo dude, man. I camo underwear, camo everything. If they had camo toothpaste, I'd probably buy it. Here's a thought. Camo toothpaste. No wrist action, pops right open, lines up perfect. Nothing. No wobble. Nothing at all. Nothing. Up and down. Nothing. Lockup is about 75%. But as tough as the steel is, like I said, there's no wobble in this knife. And I'm very impressed with it. You have a reinforced lanyard hole here, which is kind of cool. I had a couple that didn't have that. Yeah, but I'm not big on lanyards. I think lanyards are cool when you're like displaying your knife. Like I'm being totally serious, when you're displaying your knife and they have a little skull in there. I think that's really cool. But for day to day, I would find it would get caught up in the business end when you were trying to like flick it out or take it out. that little cool little skull, which I really like. I still really like it on a lot of my knives, but it always gets in the way, or gets cut, or gets fuzzy, or chokes up around your finger. So this isn't a review. I'm just giving you my first impressions on it. What a fantastic knife this is, and I am so impressed. Do I have anything here to cut? Anything to cut? I'll get a piece of paper out here for all you cut guys. There we go. You might be a redneck if your favorite cap says Baby Maker. Guess that says it all. That's pretty sharp. I ripped that one. It's very moist down here. It's hard to keep anything dry. It's like so humid, and it's hot now. And my blood is like maple syrup because I kept the house so damn cold this winter. And now we're having to change where some nights it's cold and some nights it's boiling hot. And I am like fucking melting in my shoes. I go to work and I am sweating like a moron trying to read poetry. Later, guys.